welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So today I'm with you for a different style of video. We're doing a beading video. So when I first started crafting, this was the craft that I got into and I absolutely love it. But I have to admit that filming a beading video is really difficult because I found every time I've tried I always end up going out of shot. So let's hope it works today. So I'm just using these. So these are the mini craft bottles I got from the pound shop, and we got 10 colours of seed beads. They're not the best quality, they're not very uniform in size. However, for this tutorial they're going to work out perfectly, and we also get a string, a reel of clear nylon thread, which is really just like a fishing line. So there's a couple of things that I'm adding in. This is just my bead scoop, just to so that I can pick up my beads quite easily. So there is a few things that I've added. So I've added a size 10 beading needle. Trust me, I've tried to do this video several times without it, and it is definitely something that it makes life so much easier, because I wanted it so that you would only need the beads and the thread. I've also added in some jump rings and a lobster claw clasp, so that's going to be our clasp. And the colours that I'm going to use is, so for our leaves we're going to use the green, and then I've got this gorgeous red colour out. They're going to be the petals of our flower, and then I've got this orange, the lighter of the oranges, and that's going to be the centre. So we are making a daisy chain bracelet, and like I say, it is using this I'm trying to think what it's called, this pack of beads from the pound shop. So if you're lucky enough to get it, then hopefully this will be useful. So I am just going to take, I'm going to take 1 arm's length, and 1 arm's length is from this tip of the finger all the way across, stretched out as far as you can to this tip, and I'm just going to cut that much off. So that's what we're going to use for our bracelet. I am going to then thread it onto my needle, and I will be coming in closer once I've got it onto my needle. Now you might find, like I am finding, that you may need to squish down the end of this cord to get it through your needle. So you're just sort of squishing it, because the head of this needle is super thin, like really thin. I might have to go off camera a minute. Oh no, we're in. There we go. So yeah, just to help get it on. And then what I'm going to do is, let's bring you in so we can see our beads. Now I need to sort of try and stay within this. Now I'm sorry for the state of my hands. I use my hands every day to craft, so they're not in the best condition. So right, now I'm going to keep, I don't think you can see. So I'm going to measure, I'm going to keep about 12 inches of the cord at the end, and this is so that we can add our clasp on at the end when we come to it. Now the first things that I'm going to do is we're going to start off doing a flower. So we're going to pick up 3 of our red beads, and then we're going to pick up 1 orange bead. So that's what you should have on your needle. So 3 of the red and 1 of the orange, and then you're going to slide them all the way down. Now do be careful, because straight away, as you can see, I have got my cord in a knot, and it does happen quite regularly. I might have been better off, just for demonstrations purposes, of not having such a big piece of cord. But yeah, it's ideally you want a bigger piece of cord, just because of the fact that you don't have to tie any on, and we can make 1 bracelet out of it. So this is what we have. So bring that down to the end of your thread, and what we're going to do is we're going to bypass the orange and 2 of the red, and we're going to come in down, so like that, through that bottom red bead, and then we're just going to pull it tight. So it won't look like much just now, but trust me, it will. So that's what we have just like that. We're then going to pick up 3 of our red beads, and we're going to come up and we're just going to go through this red bead here and pull that tight. So that will give us our first, if I can do it, there we go, that is our first flower. Now we're going to add in the green leaves. So to add that in, we want to pick up 1 green, 1 red and 1 green, just like that. Now we're coming out of this bead here, so we're coming out of the bottom of this bead. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the bead next to it and we're going to go up through that bead like that, and then we're going to pull. So keeping your work tight. So this is what we should have. You then want to pick up a green bead, a red bead, and then this red bead here that we picked up, we want to go down through that bead like this and give it a nice tight pull. So make sure that your work is pulled tight as you go. And then this is what we have. So we have our little flower here, and then next to it we have our leaves there. So we're going to continue on. We're going to do another flower. So we are going to pick up 2, I think, and let me double check, yeah, so we're going to pick up 2 red and 1 orange, and we're going to go up. So the second bead here, we're going to go up through that bead like that and pull that all the way through. So this is what we should have. We're then going to pick up 2 red beads, and we're going to come down through this red bead here just next to that orange. So if I can, oh, there we go. So just through that one there. Now when you get, it is difficult to get started, but persevere with it, because once you get started and once your work becomes quite tight, it does get a lot easier. So as you can see, we now have 2 flowers and a green bit, and it is just repeating the pattern over and over again. So let's do the green again. So it's 1 green, 1 red, and then 1 green, and we're going to go up. So we're coming out of this bottom red bead here, we're going to go up through this second red bead there, and we're going to pull that up just like that. So this is what we have. So there you have it. Then you're going to get 1 green bead and then 1 red bead, and we're going to come down through the red bead that we put on in the last go in our last round, and then bring that through, and again we're going to pull tight, and then this is what we'll end up with. So we're about to start our third flower. So let's pick up 2 red and 1 orange, and we're coming out of this bottom bead, red bead here, we're going to go up through that second red bead there and pull our work nice and tight. Remember to always pull your work nice and tight. It really does make a difference. You're then going to grab 2 red beads, and then next to the orange, the red bead that is next to this orange, you want to come down through that one and then again pull tight, and then that gives us our next flower beads. As you can see the daisy chain happening. So it really is just repetitive. Honestly, it's like once you've got the hang of it, you'll be away making loads of these. So picking up 1 green, 1 red and 1 green, we're coming out of this red bead, we're going to go up this red bead, so, and pulling our work tight, and then we're going to grab 1 green and 1 red, just like that, and we're going to come down through this red bead here. So we are now about to start our next flower. So I will continue just doing this. So I'll do it once more with you, and then I'll go off camera, I'll complete the bracelet, and then I'll come back on camera and we'll put on our clasp. So we're picking up 2 red beads, and then we are picking up 1 orange bead, so that's what you should have on your needle. We're coming out of this bottom flower here, sorry, this bottom bead here. We're going to go in up through this second bead here, and then bring that up and pull it nice and tight. So this is what we have. We're then going to grab 2 of our red beads, and then this red bead that is right next to our orange bead just here, we're going to go down through that. So just like that, and again we're going to pull that nice and tight. So now to finish that off, now this is what I'm saying about the beads aren't very uniform. So here I've managed to keep them quite the same size, but as you can see, this yellow bead here is really big. So I mean, it's not an issue, we can do it, but it'll look a bit odd. I didn't really look at that properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the orange bead there, but I'm going to take these 2 red ones off because they're quite small, and I'm going to look for 2 bigger ones just so that that looks just a little bit nicer. So there we go. So bring that down. So try and get the beads all around the same side, because it does look so much better. So again, let's pull this down. So just like that. Once we finish the flower, we're then going to pick up 1 green, 1 red and 1 green, and we're coming out of the bottom of this bead, and we're going to go up at the top of this bead here. And again, we're going to pull nice and tight. So just like this. And then we're going to grab 1 green and 1 red, and we're going to come down through this red bead here. So just like that. And again, pull nice and tight. So just pull it tight. And then this is what... fingers and thumbs, and then this is what you should have. So we should have, as you can see, the start of our daisy chain pattern. So what I'll do is I'm going to go off camera now, dependent on your wrist size, of what wrist size you want. So I'm going to be doing a 7.5 inch bracelet, because that's what my wrists require. So the beaded area for that will be 7 inches. So I'm going to keep on beading until I've got 7 inches. So I'm going to allow 1/2 inch for my clasp. So I will do that off a camera, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the bracelet off. So I'm back. So here we have, so this is my bracelet. So this is what I have completed. So this actually measures, let me just put it up against my board. So that is exactly 7 inches. So to get 7 inches using this kit, you would need 2, oh, my alarm's going off, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So you'd need 24 little flowers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the clasp on. So I'm going to bring you back in closer so that you can see. Wrong way, this way. So there you can see, let me turn it the other way, so there we go. So as you can see, I'm coming out of the flower here, just at the bottom. So what I want to do is I want to create a loop. I'm going to create a loop so that our clasp can go on. So I'm going to pick up 3 greens. So let's see if we can keep that. So I'm going to pick up 3 green beads. Then, 3 green seed beads. Then I'm going to pick up my clasp. And then I'm going to pick up another 3 green beads. So just trying to get it so they'll all be this round about the same. So that's what you should have on your needle, on your thread. You should have 3 green beads, your lobster claw clasp, and then 3 more green beads. So we're coming out of here, we're going to bring our needle through these 2 beads here and pull it through, and that will create a loop. Now what we want to do from there is we want to go back through all of these again, because we are reinforcing it, because this is the clasp area. If you don't reinforce it, it'll easily snap, and we don't want to put all of that work into our bracelet for it to snap. So so I've gone through it there twice. Let me just, there we go. So now I'm going to go through it a 3rd time, but I'm going to go through 2 beads, and then I'm going to add in a knot. So to add in a knot, I'm just going to bring my needle underneath this loop, just like that, and just pull. And as you can see, you've got a loop here of your thread. You just want to pop your needle in there, making sure it stays between this gap, so that you can't see it, and then we're going to pull it tight, and there's our first knot. I'm then going to go through the next green bead, the clasp, and then the green bead next to that, just like so, and pull that, and then we're going to do the same. We're going to put another knot in. So I'm going to go under there, it creates this loop. We're going to go in that loop, and then making sure we stay between between those 2 beads here. We're then going to pull that knot nice and tight. I'm going to go down through the last 2 green beads, and we're doing this so that we're fixing the thread in place so that it's less likely to come out. So that's why we're doing it. So I'm going to do another knot just under here, and making sure that we stay in this area, because obviously we don't want the thread to be seen. I mean, I know this is invisible thread anyway, it is a clear thread, but we still don't want it to be seen. I'm then just going to get my needle, and I'm going to go through a number of beads. So I'm just following my thread path, so follow where your beads sort of go, and then what we will do is, once I've got my thread path sort of gone, so I'm just going through a few beads, and this is really, we do this so that we've got quite a long tail, but we're weaving the tail in so it's less likely to come out. Once that's done, we just trim that off really close, and as you can see, no thread, but there is the clasp on the end of our bracelet. Then going to go on to the beginning. So this is the beginning. So this is where we started our bracelet. We're going to take our thread off our needle, and we're going to re-thread this end. So I may have to, no, we've gone in, and we're just going to do exactly the same as before, only this time we're using jump rings. So what I like to do with these is I actually like to put 3 jump rings together. So to open a jump ring, we just grip it with our pliers. Now it's better to use 2 pliers, but I always use my nails, but we'll open it from front to back. We're not pulling it sideways, because then we're just going to weaken it, and it will snap your metal. But like I said, I like to put 3 jump rings together when making these, making sure everything's closed like that. And then what we're going to do is exactly the same as what we've done on this end. So here is our flowers. So we're going to, but this time we're going to pick up 6 beads of the green beads. So there's 6, and we're also, when I can get it on, we're going to pick up that little bundle of jump rings as well. So on your needle you should have the 6 green beads and this little bundle here of jump rings. So we are coming out of our thread, actually no we don't, because we need to actually move our, so let me take them off, because we are in fact coming out of, when this focuses, so as you can see we'll be coming out of this bead, so we need to bring our thread through to this bead before we start. So let me just thread this. Hopefully it will do it really quick like it just did. hopefully, she says. Sometimes it does it really, really well, and then other times it takes quite a while, but with it being see-through thread, it's a bit of a nightmare. But you can use beading thread for this, so you don't have to use this nylon thread if you don't want to. So I'm just going to come up through this bead just so that my thread's in the place where we want to start. So as you can see, we're coming out of this bead now, so we can pop our loop on. So I'm going to pick up the bundle of jump rings and the 6 green beads, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up through that bottom bead here and go through both of these beads and pull, and then that creates our little loop. We're going to reinforce it just like we did on the other side of the clasp, so just like this, and then we're going to do exactly the same as we did on the other side. We are going to let me just move that out of the way a second. We are going to put our knots in. I'm hoping you can see. So just like that, and then let's pull that nice and tight. I'm knocking my beads everywhere. So there you have it. As you can see, now I have picked it up on the middle one, so I'll take one of them off and sort that out in a bit. Right, so let's do what we did on the other side. We are going to go up through a couple of beads, like so. We are then going to bring our needle through this loop to create a little loop here. So just there. We're going to pop our needle through and making sure it is between those 2 beads. We're then going to pull it to create our knot, and we're just going to do that all the way around. So I'm just going to go through a couple more beads. So if you do it like every couple of beads or so, it definitely helps secure your my needle. There we go. Your needles may become tight. Just don't sort of force it, just sort of wiggle it, otherwise they can snap quite easily. I've done many bracelets where I've ended up using a full pack of beading needles. So yeah, it's quite easily done. So if your needle snaps, don't worry, it does happen to most of us. Okay, so I'm just going to go follow my thread path all the way around. So just like this, and we are going to, there we go, just go through a few beads so that we can tie it off. You can as well, if you wanted to, if you felt like you wanted to, you could even pop in another little knot here and there to keep it more secure. So there, I've put one in there, and then you would go through a few more beads. So yeah, it'd be entirely up to you. The other thing you can do is also pop a small amount of glue on. So let me trim this off. So I'm going to trim it really close. Let me pull you out. So, and pull this in. So there you have it. There is my daisy chain bracelet. So that's what it looks like on the wrist. How cute is that? Now I can't do it myself because, yeah, I'm not very good one-handed. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Right, so there you have it. That is the daisy chain bracelet, just using the beads that we got from the pound shop, which I don't think is bad for £1. And we still have, I mean, let me put these beads back, because we still have absolutely loads left. So these are actually 12 seed beads. So if you're wanting to buy more uniform bead, Miyuki or Toho or even Preciosa, those beads are the better ones to go for. But these are just your really cheap sort of beads that you can get from China for literally pennies, but they still work. So as you can see, I mean, we've used probably a third of the bottle of the pink, and yeah, about 1/3 of the bottle of the green. But you could even mix up your colours. You don't have to stick to just one colour on here. You could do multiple colours, but I just think it's such a lovely little present. So I hope you've been able to follow this tutorial. So it is my first beading one, so I really do hope that you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below if you liked it, and if so, what you liked about it, and if you would like to see any more beading videos like this. So this is my complete and utter passion. I've loved doing beading for many years. So yeah, that is it for today. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.